I'm Braz. That's Amanda. With our boy and our dog, we are Brazzled Abroad.
Check out our family's journey leaving the U.S. and our lifestyle living abroad. So Braz and I have always been interested in living abroad. When we were living in New York, we had dreams and ambitions of maybe moving internationally. In 2019, we know that we ended up moving back to California and starting a family, but we kind of always had an interest. We didn't know where or really why we wanted to maybe leave the country, other than the world is big and I would love to see more of it. You know that Braz and I are creatives. We work full-time, both in photography, media, social media, and that sort of thing. And as we have built our business over the last few years, we established a way to work remotely. 2 years ago, I officially stopped working for an employer and we went full-time with our creative business. And that was amazing, but also challenging financially and time consuming.
We knew what we wanted to do and the capacity, I guess, in which we wanted to do it. We just need to make more money doing that.
Exactly, without spending more time. So you know that we have our boy. He stays at home full time. He's now a homeschool, but at that time, Braz was a full-time caregiver and I was trying to, do all of these projects. And we quickly realized that we didn't have more time or more capacity to take on new clients to make ends meet. Bills are bills. We had a mortgage, we had
a whole house, that was in itself the bill,
There was so many things to pay for. We're just working Americans. We weren't making a lot of money, but we were making money that we were proud of. Yeah, and we were kind of always hustling and grinding for the next lead, the next client, the next project. And while that was exciting at first, it became really tiresome, especially as new parents. And so we realized that we might want something different.
Yes, and that is when Amanda here came up with the brilliant idea of, hey, we should probably look elsewhere other than the U.S. Just one, to experience. I feel like, while we're young and our dog are young, and two, just because the dollar could probably go a little bit further elsewhere.
Yeah, we were grinding and making it happen, and even with taking on several clients and having some great retainer clients, we still weren't able to make ends meet in Fresno. I can't imagine the other places in California. We know California is one of the most expensive states to live in, but we were struggling, and I could see the toll it was taking on my man here.
I had a side gig that was turning full-time as a bartender, and it was great gig, but it was definitely
he's a provider, right? He wants to give us this big life. If you know Braz, you know what bright shining light of a human this is. And gradually I just watched him fade. You could tell he was really struggling. He was having dark day after dark day, and I would see him try and pull himself out of that. And I was just nope, this is not why we became entrepreneurs. This is not what we signed up for.
Grind, and my excuse was, that's just what men do. We shut the hell up and we work and we provide for our families, and rest will come when it comes.
And while there's space for that and the grind and, entrepreneurship, I'm not saying it should be easy. It was unreasonable. And there was a time where I just watched him pull himself out of his depression and take his ass to work. And I'm just something's got to give. We've been doing this for a long time, and I don't really see what the light at the end of the tunnel was. So in addition to our personal struggles, we just had to look the hell around and realize there are other things in this life that we don't necessarily agree with or jive with. There was a lot of things happening in our country previously and then up to date. Aram is getting a little older, and he's we started to have the conversation about education, and
basically not sending our kid to public school or private school because all them schools is getting shot up. Really?
Yeah, it's just our country has not created a safe environment for children. Gun violence is the #1 reason to lose your baby. And we have seen that this is an ongoing cycle, and I'll be damned if I have to identify my child by his shoes because his head got blown off. And I realize that's graphic, but that's one of the deciding factors as to why we didn't want to send Aram to school.
Right.
Not to mention, we don't have confidence in the history. Yeah.
They're going to teach him properly.
Exactly. True, authentic American history in all of its glory. True, authentic American history, the bad and the good. We want Aram to know where he's from and how our country has contributed to the world. And so we didn't have a lot of confidence that he would get that kind of education or really just foster his spirit and his beautiful mind. We've just taken full responsibility for that. We didn't have a lot of confidence in the education system. Not to mention my guy has asthma.
Yeah,
healthcare is expensive in the U.S.
And also where we were geographically in California, being in the Mississippi Valley, it wasn't a great asthmatic move.
Agriculture.
Asthmatic move. So,
Schmog. Yeah. So there were a lot of deciding factors, and then in recent months, as human rights we're kind of on the chopping block, and just seeing a lot of our Central Valley neighbors become uncomfortable in their neighborhoods. There was just a lot of reasons why we just didn't feel safe anymore. We are a biracial family. I want to know that my husband and my boy and my family and my community feel safe. And it didn't feel like that was a trajectory that our country was headed.
However, the neighborhood that our house was in was a pretty awesome neighborhood, and I do miss that.
Tower District, we love
the
you.
The neighborhood was a perfect place.
Downtown Fresno, shout out.
To raise a kid, but it was like a little blip of color and colorfulness and vibes amongst a crazy, not so cool. Y'all get it. It was time.
So there was just a lot of factors, right? Education, healthcare, just simply safety, as our country was kind of debating Black people's value and worth and worthiness for safety. Yeah, there's just a lot of reasons. So with that and our personal struggle, we just kind of came together and was like, maybe let's make a different decision for our life. As we looked around, we were like, is this really what we want? Is this really the life that we want to build? And the answer was no. So it was like, where do we go from here? And I started compiling a list of places in the world where Black people feel safe, especially immigrants, expats, Black people, where there was Black community that existed already. So we compiled a list of cities around the world where Black people might feel safe. That included cities in Mexico, like Mexico City, Oaxaca, and various other cities. We even looked at Ghana and places in South Africa, Portugal, Spain. There were Kona. But then that one fated day in April when Braz was just having a really severe low, I revisited that list that we had made over a year ago. And I really started to look at the places that we had compiled for safety and just how practical it would be for us to get there and what the cost of living would be and what the culture was like and language barriers. And I looked at what might be practical for us to actually move. So we ruled out places like Thailand and the Philippines and places that were much further away. And we started
because of distance.
Because of distance, yeah, we are interested in those places, but we started to look at what was practical, and that ended up being Mexico. I researched the various cities in Mexico to see what might fit our vibe, what might we be interested in. Originally, I looked at Mexico City and I was like, we did New York, that looks like Mexican New York. And just the chapter I'm in life, it feels very chaotic and not something that I'm particularly interested in living in. So we've rolled out Mexico City, but then we looked at Oaxaca. I didn't know anything about Oaxaca at the time. We were looking at Oaxaca City, which seemed incredible with like vibrant lifestyle and all this different kind of food. And the food, like,
y'all gotta go to Oaxaca City.
we heard great things, but once we visited, oh my gosh, exceeded our expectations. But ultimately, we narrowed in on Oaxaca, and I found a place called Puerto Escondido, and that is ultimately, yes, that is ultimately where we decided to go. I realized that that I could live by the beach for basically a fourth of our income that we were paying in California, and just have to make some like lifestyle adjustments, but that it was safe. There's not a big Black community here, but of course there's a lot of
here. They out here though. Yeah, I've seen them. We made eye contact. And what's up? I see you here, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Lots of brown people though,
yeah, cool,
and travelers from all over the world.
Over the place, yeah.
And so that day in April, I sent Braz a text when he was at work, and I'm like, listen,
mid-March and shit. I'm like,
listen, we're moving by July. April, May, June, July. I was like, we're leaving. Here is our budget.
I broke it down. Every question that I could have had, it was already answered in the sheet. It was, yeah.
That's how I tried to approach it. Anything that I thought maybe a question Braz would have for me, I'm like, I need to answer it. Like, how much does Wi-Fi cost? How do we get from A to Z? Transportation? Where is the grocery store? Where's the hospital? Things like that. So I really tried to familiarize myself. I did a lot of research. Shout out TikTok. I learned a lot on TikTok about people, moving out here without ever visiting, which is the same thing I did to New York. I just have a habit of moving somewhere and just fully committing. We ultimately decided in April to move to Puerto Escondido, Oaxaca, Mexico. And the next step was just figuring out how we were going to do that logistically. We had to figure out our money. We initially listed our house for rent in July. I was very gung-ho at first. So May and June, I did several yard sales and sold all our shit.
Yeah, shit in our house, bro, for like months.
I was just like, what is her name? Marie Kondo or something? I was just like, get rid of it. I was just trying to downsize and consolidate and be really mindful about what could come with us and if we had to store stuff. So we downsized heavily. I think we had like 3 or 4 yard sales, and by the end we were just giving away stuff. Like all of the stuff in our front yard was just walking away, and it was kind of painful to see.
Yeah, it was. The detachment was learning that was tough. Memories and whatnot, and from our wedding and our first house, and mind you, this was our first house that we bought together.
Yeah.
That wasn't easy to let that go and everything that came with it. And so
that was painful, and to like have to explain it to Aram, like he had his own room and he had all of his toys and a bathtub, yeah. And we just had to explain to him, like, look, Mama and Dad are also getting rid of some of our stuff. But when we sell the stuff, you can have pesos and buy new toys in Mexico, which he has not forgotten. But when he figured that out, it became a little bit more exciting for him. So at the yard sale, when people would come up, he'd be like, check out the toy section. Can I interest you in some toys? And our 4-year-old really did practice detachment. I was really surprised. Like, a child could be, really... what's the word I'm looking for? They're his toys, and he doesn't want to give up his toys, but he ended up being okay. And that helped a lot. But yeah, we gave away so much of our clothes, basically our whole kitchen. All of our appliances walked away, and it was like June, and our house, aside from like large furniture, was pretty empty. And Braz is looking around like, okay, what now? Because we went to list our home for rent, and it's an astronomical price. We have like a cute three bed, 2 bath in Tower District, but we had to list it for $3,000, just over $3,000. And who has that for rent?
Yeah, it's a rent.
Nobody. We could barely afford that. That was not even going to cover the mortgage. So people are like, so many people were interested. 0 bites for paying that in rent. And it's like, same girl. Like, we also cannot afford that. So in August, we had sold all of our stuff. We had been trying to rent our house for over a month. And Braz just had to come to me.
Attachment.
A heart to heart. Yeah. I was very proud to own a home. If you know anything about my family's journey and like the homelessness that we experienced, like I was very proud to own a home with a green door in Tower District in like the art space in Fresno. So when Braz came to me and was like, look, we tried and we said that if there were any roadblocks, we were going to navigate accordingly. And this kind of represents a version of the American dream that's not really aligned with our goals right now. And that was painful. He had to take me to the beach for the day and I had to cry it out.
I was sad too, though. Like I wasn't excited about selling my house.
It was a sanctuary. It was a beautiful space, and we had curated so much peace. Yeah, so much peace.
Peace away from the.
And it's where we raised our boy,
Right.
and that was a hard decision to make. But ultimately, it was true. We had to make that decision to keep the ball rolling, to leave. We wanted to leave in July, and it was August when he was having this conversation with me. So we went to the beach for a day, and I'm like, you're right. This is hard for me to process, but you're right. And then on the way back from the beach, we called our realtor, shout out Arminder the realtor, and told him, so we need to sell our house. And that was painful.
Same guy who actually sold us our house too. So.
Correct. Yeah. And he's great and so helpful and has mentored us a lot in the real estate space. And so, yeah, we decided we were going to sell our house. And that was really hard.
Yeah. So now we have decided to sell the house and getting it ready to be sold. And one thing that we're trying to figure out too is, do we wait to leave until the house sells, or do we just go and sell the house internationally?
And I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of here. We left. We got it not staged, but we got it all cleaned up and ready for real estate photos, and got the photos
our
and
stuff in storage to make sure that was handled.
Rented a U-Haul and just put there were a couple of pieces of furniture we still wanted to keep. Like when we bought our home, we really furnished it with intention. So we kept our furniture, got a U-Haul, got a storage space in downtown Fresno, and just the two of us packed up our whole life and consolidated everything that we were going to take down to 6 bags. 6 bags our life ended up being in.
And then, things like our car. We try to sell it, realize that we have put a lot of miles in our car.
We use our car.
We use our car for everything.
Yeah, up and down California and everywhere else.
So we couldn't sell the car for what we wanted. And so shout out to my boy Brian. He is actually watching our car for us in LA.
We appreciate it.
That was a huge help, bro. Thank you again for that. So the car's taken care of. Our stuff from our houses in storage.
And it being in LA is really helpful because when we fly into LAX to come back for business or whatnot, like we have a car there. So it actually works out that we don't have to rent a car every time we come back.
That's my boy. Thank you, my boy.
Yeah, very grateful for that. So all in all, yard sales, listed our home for rent, didn't rent, listed our home for sale, and we were gone a week later, 2 weeks later.
We left at like September 1st, I want to say. That's when we decided to actually get
Yeah, and how soon before that did you book the flight, the one-way flight? Like a week?
Oh, I booked that when we got the storage unit mid-August.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I wanted
about
to get, like,
2 weeks before we actually left, we booked
Right.
one-way tickets to Oaxaca.
Man.
And we also had to figure out how to fly with a freaking dog because you know I have my codependent Kona
That was a
Louie.
whole headache.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. You make my dreams come true.
Damn dog.
Yeah, we
Damn
had to
dog.
figure that out. Braz had to call the airline and figure out, like,
It worked when we needed it because
it's not simple. We'll
gotta
do a
go
separate
to the
video.
airport, and leave this because if you're missing one thing, it's done. So we gotta make sure everything's taken care of. So got that handled with Kona. That was cool.
You also have to have like his vaccines
That's what
up
I'm
to
saying,
date,
yeah.
and then he has to have a letter of health that says he's in good condition to even get on the plane within 10 days of the flight. So
Didn't even do it like ahead of time. You had to wait.
we were
So-
kind of scrambling. Yeah, we were like plastic wrapping furniture and taking the dog to get his, paperwork. It was a bit chaotic at the end. We were a little stressed.
And now that's taken care of. And fast forward, so now we're in the airport. Everything is cool, and we are
Freaking out because
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, leaving our house was hard.
Yeah.
Driving away was like, okay, don't look back, don't look back, don't
Man.
look back.
a few tears were shed.
Yeah. We kind of quietly left. Not a lot of people knew that we were making that transition.
That was definitely my doing as well because I didn't want to going away nothing. I wanted to leave quietly because one thing that I believe in is if you tell too many people your plans,
It invites too much energy.
somebody hating. Somebody is out there hating it. They don't want to see you succeed. So I wanted to definitely just leave my own accord.
We
all
really
the
do
time.
try to protect our peace
So,
and
yeah.
make plans and move accordingly and then share the story afterwards. So yeah, that's what we decided to do. We booked those one-way tickets. We went down to LA. We stayed the night overnight and
4 a.m. next morning.
4
ma'am.
a.m. the next
We're on that shuttle
morning
bus.
with the dog.
That damn child.
And lots of luggage. Like
Man,
we had
six
two
full
big bags
bags.
each, right? And then we had carry-ons. And then I had Kona, and we had to learn about, pet relief stations and things like that in the airport. But we had been fantasizing about this day for so long, right? Like we had been like, oh my gosh, we're gonna move away. We're gonna leave the country. And then we had this idea of how it was gonna go down, right? Like we had fantasized about it for months. And so we get on the plane. The first leg of the trip was from LA to Mexico City, and that wasn't long,
It was
right?
cool. Yeah, about
Like an hour or two.
Nah, it was like a 3-hour flight.
Oh yeah, it was the
Yeah,
longer leg. Yeah. Mhm.
Again, not bad. Rom did great. Even Cohen did great too.
Yeah, sitting underneath the seat in front of us, he did really good. So we land in Mexico City. We go up to
It's about
the
noon, midday.
yeah,
Nice.
and we go up to the counter where you have to have Kona inspected.
Clear your pet.
I don't think it's called declare. I
No?
looked that
Oh,
up, but
okay.
it's something like have an inspection.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
It's for agriculture and pets and things like that. So we had to go up and give them all of our documentation and give them all our forms. And it was really chaotic because one, we don't speak the language, right? We knew that would be a challenge. But also they don't care if you don't have enough time to get to your connecting flight. So it was chaotic to say the least. And there were several pets trying to be inspected at the window that day. So we get done with that, we get through security, and then we walk the furthest ever to our gate. It was like a 10-minute walk through the airport construction and things like that. And we get to our flight, it's boarding, and Braz looks around.
I said, you know what? I can't seem to locate my phone.
We're getting on the plane at this point.
We're on the gangway. We're all walking
And
down.
he's like, I don't have my phone. And I'm like,
So,
holy shit,
yeah.
bro.
And so
He's like, I think I left it at security or something.
Let me be right back. Let me just bring these 2 bags with me real quick. I'll be right back.
And this fool's trying to run, right?
Had a
Run
whole asthma attack too.
very far away. It was very far. And I'm trying to call it. And then someone answers it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have my husband's phone.
Yeah.
We left it. And so they're chatting with me, and I don't know where he is. And I'm trying to tell him his name is Braz. He's this gorgeous black man. He's going to be looking
You are-
for the phone. But ultimately, the plane was boarded, and I don't know where Braz is. He's not coming back to the gate. I have all of the bags, Kona, my boy, and they're like, ma'am, are you getting on this flight? And I'm like, no, not without my man. You know, I'm scared. Like, I'm in a different place. I've never been here before. They're like, if you don't get on this flight, you're gonna lose this flight. And I'm just like, damn, like, we should not be compromising multiple.
This is our first day. Like, we haven't even.
And I can't talk to him. He doesn't have his phone. So ultimately, Aram is screaming for dad. He's like, Dad! I'm like, Braz! We're panicking. We're literally there. And this flight attendant is like, ma'am, if you don't get on this flight, we're closing the door. I'm like, damn. Okay, so I get all our shit and my boys on the flight, and I'm asking the flight attendant, like, if he comes, will you guys let him on? She's like, yes, he has about 6 minutes or whatever. And of course, Aram is just like so happy and chipper. He's like going to Mexico, right? So he's like trying to chat with everyone next to him, and I'm trying not to have a panic and like freak him out. I'm sitting there and I'm just looking out the window, and then I see the little gangway pull away, or we pull away from the gangway, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm leaving without my husband. And I can't speak to him. He does not have his phone.
Braz gets left Mexico City.
In Mexico City. We left Brazil in Mexico
See y'all there.
City.
Stay tuned for that story.
Right.